And I'm Jennifer Andrews. Well, the students and the staff at Haven Elementary are safe, but boy, oh boy, some frightening moments today.
Indeed.
Nation pausing to remember the 14th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Somber tributes today in New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania, where the 4 planes crashed. And the President and First Lady observed a moment of silence at 8:46 a.m. That is when Flight 11 hit the World Trade Center's North Tower. Well, the President later spoke at Fort Meade in Maryland.
We do not forget those who were fallen.
And another memorial was held in Bluffton to remember the victims. That included Bluffton Fire, Police, and Beaufort County EMS. WJCL's Ashley Lyotis was there. Has retired in the Low Country. He says he has not been back to the 9/11 museum yet. He thinks it would be too hard. Beaufort County Sheriff's Office hopes you can help them identify this man. He is accused of using a stolen credit card at 2 Walgreens on Hilton Head. Authorities say he made purchases of more than $700. If you know who he is, get in touch with the Sheriff's Office. Well, new at 5, the County Commission votes to keep the police merger, but not all of the commissioners were on board. The Georgia coast. It began last night when a relative of a boater called the Coast Guard saying a boat was taking on water. Well, at first they thought it was off the Wausau Island coast near Savannah, but it was found early this morning off Pine Island. That's north of St. Simon's Island. Ronnie Harden and John O'Brien were rescued by a boat crew from the Coast Guard station Tybee Island. Neither had serious injuries. It's the first place that people see when they come to visit.
And a lot of things at your house or office pass through its doors as well. Of course, we're talking about the airport. Today, they revealed some projects that will help make life around the airport a little better.
WJCL News, major upgrades coming to the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. Why airport leaders say a multi-million-dollar grant will help things soar to new heights. All right, well, Savannah's getting closer to getting a cultural arts center. The Historic District Board of Review has approved the latest design. Now, some are kind of concerned that the previous design needed a more iconic look, while the new one added height and curves to the outside of the building.
Oh, I think it's a real plus for the community. We waited for it for a long time. We've been trying to do it right.
The nation's largest debt collecting agencies.
The two companies have been...
Rawlings Blake made that announcement this morning, and it comes just days after officials said the city would pay Freddie Gray's family more than $6 million. Gray died after suffering a spinal injury in police custody. Now, 6 police officers are awaiting trial in the case. Of road rage caught on tape in Houston, Texas. Check it out. The driver of a semi recorded this video of a man in a small yellow car cutting him off not once but twice. Well, then the guy in the car, he slams on his brakes a few times, then he stops in the middle of the road to confront the driver of the semi. Well, the driver of the semi says he hopes this video will encourage people to be a little bit smarter around big trucks.
You wake up in the morning, you look at the news, and...
A series of deadly bombings. 9 years ago, 7 commuter trains in Mumbai were attacked, leaving 188 people dead. More than 800 were hurt. Well, the trial lasted more than 7 years. They say the sentencing should be announced sometime next week.
Right, sometimes weddings, wedding planning, it can all go overboard, right?
Yeah, more times than not.
That's what I hear. But what happens when the wedding ring goes overboard? After the break, we'll introduce you to a couple that fell in love as the rings fell in the water.
Oh, no. They'll have an underwater wedding. And the tailgate tour, it's stopping in Effingham County for a big rivalry matchup. Effingham County versus South Effingham. We're going to check in with the big guy for a preview.
Well, it was a picture-perfect day for a wedding on a sailboat.
It's one of those stories they're going to share for the rest of their lives, obviously. Everything was going as planned until the wedding ring went overboard. Debbie Shard has this incredible story. I would guess not. Well, the captain has the coordinates for that missing ring, although he says it's more than likely in some mud off the Charleston Battery.
We'll try to get back to Jeff as soon as we can. Sorry about that, folks.
Technology. It's not all it's cracked up to be at all times, right? All right, turning to sports right now. It's Friday, so of course we all know what that means.
What?
High school frenzy.
Well, tonight's tailgate tour stopped in Guyton for the Effingham County versus South Effingham matchup, and that's where we find the big guy, Frank.